Look at this trailer. Beautiful, huh? I almost said it. Someone was making fun of me in the comments yesterday because I kept saying brand new. But I mean, this is kind of stuff that gets exciting. This, look how close those tandems come into the skirts. This thing rolls like a dream down the road, inflates its own tires. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I'm having a really good time with it. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a quick look around. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's a trailer, right? That's all it is. That's it. The owner was mad. He's like, I couldn't get the aluminum rims. I don't know if they ran out or what, but he's like, so we got the steel ones. But he wanted aluminum, which obviously does look better. But anyways, no, it's cool. This thing it's amazing. It just glides down the road. And hopefully me and that trailer have a long career together. I'm enjoying it a lot. Guys, what is going on with these truck stop employees these days? Are they like sedating them on their way in the door? You guys would have lost your minds if you saw what I just saw. It was absolutely insane. I'm at a Pilot, and the lady working in there is just standing behind the, counter at the register, and she's just like turning her head. She's like, hello, hi, how are you? Hello, hi, I can help. Who's next? Hi, can I help you? I can help. Who's next? Hello, hi. You know who was waiting up there? Who was even walking by? Literally no one. I was so confused. I thought it was like a robot glitching out. But yeah, she was just standing there greeting no one walking in the door. And to me, that was odd. To me, that was a little bit strange, but maybe not to everyone. Maybe that's normal in other people's lives, but not for me. Don't see that very often. So what do we got going on now, guys? We've got, let me close this. I don't know how many miles we got to go. But the broker had not necessarily set our appointment time yet. So we knew it was going to be tomorrow at either 2 a.m. or 10 p.m. Those were the options we had. And they were waiting to set the appointment time to see like when I was going to get loaded, because maybe this place that we picked up is notorious for loading slowly or something like that. It did take a while. It did. So I think that's what they were waiting for. And then my dispatcher got a hold of me this morning. He said, do you want that early morning appointment? I said, yeah, but it's going to be tight. I said, I want it and I'll get it there, but it's going to be really tight to do it. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let him know. So they did get us the 2 a.m. delivery, but we're going to have to use up every bit of this day to do it. I mean, we're going to be rolling in there with tires on fire. Just, a minute left on the clock type of day. So I've got like 5 hours left, just under 5 hours left. And my GPS is pointing to this Pilot that I'm at right now. So I don't know exactly how many miles I have, but we're going to be down to that last few minutes when we roll in there. So, hey, that's the way she's going to go. And I'm going to roll in there early. I don't know if they're going to send me on my way, but here's the plan. Using the old noggin here, right? I'm going to roll into my delivery and I'm going to say, hey, I understand I'm here like 8 hours early. I can't fit in a 10-hour break and still make it on time is the problem, right? So I'm going to roll in. My ELD will show my location. I arrived, and if they say, hey, come back later, we're just going to PC over to the closest parking and a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge after that to get this job done. So that's the way she's going to go. We're going to get her done, though. Yeah, there was a little confusion on that. And I could have driven farther last night after I got loaded, but I was in the Chicago area and I needed to pass right by the terminal anyways to get out of there. And I was like, okay, well, if I just go to the terminal, I know I'll have parking. But in hindsight, maybe I should have went an hour or two further down the road, and I don't know where I would have parked at that point, but maybe that's what I should have done because it was starting to get late. So that's kind of where we're at today as far as the trucking goes. It's just a super boring day. So I'm thinking through a topic in my head because, I know I truck and I look good, right? Those are the things I do. And one better than the other. I'm not sure what, just kidding. But I do have actual thoughts going through my head is the point. And I'm thinking on a topic about sort of how the internet has like corrupted our worldview and how people treat each other because of the internet. and how it affects our mental state. Now, none of this is going to be scientific. I'm not a doctor, as you can see. I'm clearly a trucker. But sort of how it's changed the way we interact with each other, and how it was this great idea that was meant to connect the world. And I think by the time it's all said and done, we're going to find out how incredibly isolated we all ended up being because of this crazy invention that allows the world to communicate in real time at all times. And that's sort of what I'm thinking about. I haven't really worked out all the details of it in my head, but it's just a strange place. And I wonder, by the time it's all said and done, if we will find that the internet did more harm than good to the human condition, or what have you, in general, but how it shaped the world. And do you think by the time it's said and done, whatever that means, that we would look back and see the advantages of it or disadvantages more? And I'm not sure which side I fall on that. Overall, probably more advantages than disadvantages, probably. But I'm just not really sure. So I'll be thinking on that on the rest of my drive. I got a slice of pizza from a sedated robot in there, and that drives me nuts too. Every time you ask for a slice of pizza at Pilot, they're like, 1 or 2, and 1. I just want 1. I mean, I'm 150 pounds. I don't need to be packing down 2 slices of giant pizza for lunch. That's crazy. You know, I'm 40. I need to start watching what I'm doing. I don't need 2 slices of pizza, but they always 1 or 2 every time. And then the lady in there, the other lady, not the sedated robot, the other lady, she's like, 1? Why don't you want 2 slices of pizza? Lady, can you just do what I asked, please? Like, can you just give me the 1 slice of pizza I asked you for? I don't understand what all the conversation's about. Oh, I'm just a grumpy old trucker. She was probably just joking around with me, but I'm not in the mood, apparently. Anyways, I'm gonna get this thing back on the road here, this rig back on the road. I need fuel, and the line for fuel is very long, but I'll figure that out all on my own. I'll talk to you guys soon. Sick clouds, bro. What's up, guys? Sorry, truck's a little loud. It sometimes needs me to do a manual regen. I don't know. It's like twice since I've had it, so twice in 2 months. Not too worried about it, but it needed one. We made it, just like I said we would, right? Hauling ass into the parking lot, tires on fire. Oh yeah, well, the tires weren't literally on fire, but we got it done today. 9 minutes left on our 11 when we got here. 696 miles from the Chicago area up near Syracuse, New York. Knocked it out today. Got it done. So happy with that. Place has a really big parking lot where I'm delivering to. I walked in, told the guard, because it was about 6:30 p.m. when I got here. I said, hey, this isn't till 2 a.m. delivery, but will you guys let me park? And he's like, yeah, we got plenty of room. Go park. Awesome. That's very cool, because some places won't let you in. And it's like, especially in this part of the country, if they won't, like, what do they want you to do? You know, I was like, okay, if they don't, what are my options? And like 5 miles up on the interstate, there was a truck inspection thing that was closed right now. So I maybe could have pulled in there, but I'm here. So we made it. And the guy said they'll probably call you sometime after 10, which would be cool, but I'm here for the night, so I don't care. We get the 10-hour break in. We have not picked up a load for tomorrow yet, but we have set ourselves up for success, folks. This was a long day, so I got to make sure through the weekend I'm kind of, you know, careful with going too many hours, so I'm not in a spot where I have to do a reset. We just got the brand new trailer, so we want to be able to run with it. But so far I'm happy. Tomorrow morning will be Friday. We have not made a lot this week. We're at $27.50, but if we can find $3 grand, $4 grand, you know, 4 would be ideal to run until Monday. You know, as long as I have whatever I pick up tomorrow, as long as the paperwork is sent to the company by Tuesday afternoon, then I get paid for that on the following Friday. So I don't care. If they want to run me from here to the West Coast and I can make it by Tuesday afternoon, get the paperwork in, golden. Absolutely love it. So hopefully we do something cool, something creative, something that will make us a lot of money. But we're at $2,750, so I'd like to see $3,000 more. So that's $57.50. That's a nice almost $6,000 week for our first week with the reefer trailer, and not even a full week. So that's what I'd like to see. What we will see and what I'd like to see could be vastly different things. But I've got all day tomorrow now. I've got all day Saturday, Sunday, Monday if I need it. If we deliver on Monday, then cool. I'll get a head start on the next week. This company's a little weird with how their pay periods work, but I like it. It works out. It works out. So I guess the thing I wanted to talk about today is sort of the state of the internet, and how people act on the internet, and how the internet is such a beautiful, amazing, absolutely brilliant concept that connects the world in real time and should, in theory, like change the way the world works. And I think that it obviously has done that, not to the extent it could. We learned during COVID that a lot of people didn't have to go to an office to do their job, right? We learned it and then we unlearned it as soon as we felt like the COVID threat was over or what have you. We unlearned that at that point, and now everybody's back driving to their offices. But it's such a great concept. The whole idea of the internet is absolutely fantastic. We're going to connect the world in a way that people can communicate instantly, watch movies, watch TV shows at any time they want. Remember when we used to wait to watch a TV show? Oh, that's not on till Wednesday at 7 p.m. And then Monday sucked, and Tuesday sucked, and then Wednesday at 7 p.m. you're all pumped up, and then you got a terrible episode anyways, and it didn't matter. You remember those caveman days when we used to wait to watch something on TV instead of binge watching it? I mean, I don't really watch stuff now anyways, except football for the most part, and that's a live sporting event, so you're still stuck in the same boat, right? Where you can't watch that ahead of time. You can watch it after at any time you want, I guess. You get the point. What's the fun of watching a sporting event after it's already happened? You already know the score. Well, you probably do. Things like that. But anyways, my point is, I have been traveling around the internet to various different communities, mostly on YouTube, because I've been around the trucking community for a while, right? And I wondered, does every community have this certain group of people, which we'll refer to as toxic? I said, is this trucking specific? I doubt it is, right? So I've started not driving around, but going around to various communities in YouTube and really digging in, right? And seeing, okay, now here's the major players in this community, and now here's this group, and here's that group, and they don't like each other, and all these things. And you think that truckers are crazy on YouTube? The knitting community has some real gangsters in it. I mean, these guys are some real OGs. You don't want to mess around. But the point is, every community is filled full of toxic people, regardless of what kind of community you are in. Now, that's obviously not to say that if you're a trucking YouTuber, you yourself are a toxic person. That would be an absurd statement, right? But we do know that within the truck driving community that does exist. We know in the knitting community that exists. The bowling community, that's a rough bunch right there. You don't want to mess around with the bowling community. Anything you can think of, though. Artists, photographers, book readers, people that really, there must be a word for that, right? Book readers probably isn't the word. You can tell I'm not much of a book reader myself, if that's what I came up with. Book readers. There's a reason I'm a trucker, right? So anyways, but every community within YouTube has those characters, every one of them. And it is interesting because they are the same in every group. in every community. They're the exact same group of people. And for lack of better way to explain it, this applies to all communities out there. People that are so desperate for attention, so desperate to be accepted by other people, that they can't help but just be awful, just be mean people just for the sake of doing it. And it's quite a perplexing situation when it comes to internet. You know, I'm not by any means a tough guy. I'm not here looking for a fight. That sounds pretty ridiculous to me. And I wish we could see more of that. Maybe people acknowledge that, hey, I'm just a dude on the internet. Like, throwing hands isn't really my thing. It's not something I excel at. I think I could probably do okay if push came to shove, but just not interested, not even a little bit. I don't have so much pride that I'm willing to punch people. If you guys could see my punching motions, you know, I'm willing to punch people or get punched over words that were said. That sounds very absurd to me, but it is always sort of the same sort of thing. In every community, it's the same 20, 30, 40 people that go around to every live stream, and everybody in that community has a channel where they all go and live stream, and everybody bounces around through everybody's live streams all day, patting each other on the back about the one person they hate. These communities all have targets, right? And they pat themselves on the back about how awesome they are, and the things they said that owned them and all this stuff. And it's a really absurd thing to watch, right? And they all gather around behind their leaders, the alpha male, but they're all alpha males, every one of them. Every one of them. It's just absurd that every one of them is the alpha male. And it turns into this massive circle jerk where one guy's like, I'm the alpha male, and another guy's like, well, I'm an alpha male too, and I'm an alpha male too, and then, you silly boy, you're an alpha male. Oh no, you silly, you're the alpha male. It's just very bizarre behavior. If you have to go to the internet to express that you are indeed an alpha male, I got bad news for you, son. I got bad news for you. If that were true, you wouldn't have to say it. You would never have to say it. That would just be crazy for you to do that. And I sometimes wish, like I said, I have looked at a number of different communities on this, and it's just the same old song and dance, the same old story everywhere you go, right? Just that absolute desperation for acceptance. So I'm gonna, like, I see, it's like cancer almost, or STDs, or anything that spreads. It's like COVID. I could have said that instead of STDs, right? But I went for the top shelf. I'm like, you know what we're gonna say? STDs, right? But it's like one guy decides he don't like a guy, right? And then so he goes, I'm gonna make videos about him, because that does anything at all. Actually, I should have, maybe I'll do this in a separate order. This video will be, I don't know. Anyways, actually, let me just say it. Let me just do it, and then I'll try to remember what point I was at. Guys that have been around me for a while know there was a point in time where I took people's words very seriously here on the internet, and I was full of anxiety, and I felt this need to fight back. I'm gonna tell them something, and then what are they gonna do? And then they're gonna tell me something, and at the end of the day, we'll figure out who won what. Nobody won. Nobody wins that. It's not even the viewer. Everybody who sits there and makes that content and consumes that content is dumber for having done it, right? But I used to get really in my emotions and in my head about it and all that. And now the approach I've taken with YouTube, because to come back to YouTube after just a crazy amount of things that should have never occurred, was not only conversations with people close to me, what do you think of this, but it also required a lot of soul searching. How will I approach these situations as they come up, right? What will I do in the event that these things start again? And these things always start again, maybe with different names, different faces. When you start to accomplish something, when you start to grow something, these things always start. And you have to ask yourself, why is that, right? Here's the mindset I came back to YouTube with, right? I will never ever listen to the criticism of somebody that I don't respect, or somebody that I don't admire, or somebody that isn't doing something that I want to do, right? What I've learned over the last couple years is it's very rare that somebody that's making videos on a person in general is doing better than that person. I had a friend that I talked to. I still have the friend. He didn't die or anything, I don't think. I hardly ever check in with my friends. If you're dead, I'm sorry. Rest in peace. I don't check in with people very often. But me and him were talking on the phone and talking about this, coming back to YouTube, what it's like and stuff like that. He said, the thing you need to remember, Josh, is that you will never ever have a hater that's doing better than you in life. And that's such a valid point. This applies to every community out there. There is not a single person out there that I've seen hating on another person that was doing better than them, that had anything worthwhile. It's unfortunately, because the world's a hard place, guys. It's a very hard place. It is unfortunately the actions of people that are struggling through life on their own, or themselves, or however you would put that. And instead of like doing what they need to correct those actions, they lash out at other people because they can say this and they can say that, and then they can get that dopamine rush. Remember, this brain's controlled by chemicals, folks. Mine's full of nicotine. My brain's controlled by nicotine specifically. It's the only chemical in there, which explains a lot of the dumb shit I do. Anyways, now back to the point that I was trying to make. That's what I've learned. Anyways, I'm trying to remember the point I was at. And there are some people in this trucking community that I do look up to, that I respect, that I want to achieve and accomplish what they're doing right now, or what they're working towards. And not one of those people has ever sat down to make a video about what a terrible person I am. You know why? Because they have things to do. They're busy. They're busy on their own grind, their own hustle, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. They don't have time to sit around and worry about what I'm doing or what anybody else is doing. You know, they just do their thing. If that thing's making videos, if it's owning trucks, if it's any number of things, people doing better than someone have no interest in sitting there and bashing them. I will actually name a person that I do kind of look up, I do look up to in this sort of trucking community, and don't know too well. So if he turns out to be like a horrible dirtbag person, I would actually be really disappointed. And that person, crotchety old man, let's call him, Will Burner Express. And he's not actually an old man, but he's got the white beard, so he looks very wise beyond his years. He's a young man, 22, 23 last I heard. But he's not afraid to speak his mind in a calm, rational way. He owns his truck. He's owned multiple trucks before that. He's taken his life experience and experience from people that he knows that he considers to be intelligent people, and he has built his life into something that I find respectable, I find to be admirable. Now, if a guy like Will Burner sat down to make videos, not only about me, but just sat down to make videos, drama videos about other people, I would be so horribly disappointed in that man that I would like question my entire existence. You know why? And I'm not saying that Will Burner's never thrown a few jabs on YouTube. I don't know if he has or if he hasn't. I don't know. But if his whole thing was like, I'm just going to go off on this dude until I make him cry on YouTube, I would question my entire existence at that point. Because from what I can see from him, he's a good person. Now, that don't mean he's not afraid to stand up when he sees something wrong and say what his point of view is, right? And that's the point. Thank you, Will Burner. You finally got me there. That's the point I was trying to make earlier, when in all these different communities, the groups of alpha males, remember, everyone there is an alpha male, right? But not one of them is brave enough to stand up to the people in their own group and say, dude, that was too much, or you shouldn't do that. because they're so worried that oh my God, my group of internet friends won't accept me if I stand by my own convictions and speak up for what I think is right and wrong. Whatever will I do without my internet friends to praise me all day and tell me what a badass I am because I really, you know, said a lot of really terrible things about another human being on the other side of the internet. I mean, to me, it's just absolutely shocking. But they're so worried that their internet friends won't accept them anymore that they never stand up and say, hey, dude, like, we should probably chill with this. We should probably, and everybody's trying to push it to the next level and trying to one up the last guy to figure out who's the most alpha of all the alphas here, right? Who's the king of the alphas, or whatever bizarre shit these people are doing. And it's unfortunate. Now I got to get serious here. The reason it's unfortunate is because oh boy, oops, wrong button. The reason it's unfortunate is because so many people were raised to believe that they can't feel like the whole range of emotions. They can't just feel how they feel about stuff, right? Especially men. I don't know necessarily how girls and women are raised and what they're taught to think and things like that. I obviously have been around in my daughter's lives as they've grown up, but I've always been the kind of guy like, hey, feel how you feel. How do you feel about this, right? But so many men are raised with this like mindset, like, you're not allowed to cry. What if you just need a good cry? Have a cry. What's it gonna hurt? As a matter of fact, you're gonna feel a whole lot better if you just let it out, right? But like, you're only allowed to be like angry and aggressive and like when these poor kids are just like little boys and they fall down and get hurt, you need to man up. You need to man up. And it's like, this creates a very toxic environment later on in life. And from my experiences, the kind of women that I like are not attracted to that. As a matter of fact, they think it's really gross when like men are like, look how tough I am, right? Like, I'm not a tough guy by any means. I'm just not. I don't see the need for all that in our modern society. Like, I in all these communities, I see a bunch of cavemen with internet connections. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? And it's sad to me, because I'm allowed to feel that way. It's sad to me that there is so many toxic people out there because they just can't say how they really feel, or they're so worried about if their internet friends will still accept them, or they grew up under power lines and they stopped maturing after like 14 years old, or they bumped their head or something. And it's just like, how many head injuries did we have in the 80s that like the 70s and 80s where like we're the counters in everybody's house is like 5-year-old child head height, and they're all just running around bumping their fucking heads. I just don't get what happened. I don't understand it. It's like, maybe parents were doing that. I don't know, slugging the kid in the back of the head with a baseball bat on his 14th birthday to make sure he doesn't grow up even just a little bit. We don't want him maturing past that. They're no good. They're too ripe after 14 or whatever that means. I don't know what is going on in these communities. Oh man, that's one right there that can be easily taken out of context. But that's a problem for anybody that wants to take that out of context. That has nothing to do with me. Oh God, that's so dumb. Anyways, I just don't know what happened. So I'll wrap this up. I don't know who's still listening because I'm just rambling on and on. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. What I've seen in every one of these communities is that everybody's lying about people. Everybody's looking for that next sensationalist headline so that they can get the views, so that the 30 people that all run around in these circles will go to their channel and praise them for the day, and they can feel like the real man they are and all that stuff. And I look back on things that have happened on my time on YouTube, and I do wonder what I was so damn worried about, right? I remember the thing about me having a wife and a girlfriend was never ever supposed to be on the internet. And there was a time where I tried to like squash those rumors over and over by explaining the actual truth of what's going on. And once again, it's fine. I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. I do have a wife. We are like 16 years married at this point, 15, 16, 17 years married at this point. It's been a very long time. And I do have a girlfriend also. They are both very much aware of this. And it's just kind of a thing that happened over time, right? I don't have to explain anything beyond that. That's what it is. In that sense, though, I am a very, very, I'm not religious, but I can't think of any other word to use. So the best I can come up with is I'm a very blessed person in that sense. To have two women in my life that care very much about me, I think it's cool. I think, well, obviously anyone would think that's cool unless they were trying to target someone and make them look like a villain, then they would act like it's not cool. But anybody that's ever made a video about that, on that topic, they thought it was cool too. They're like, how'd this dude pull this off? You know, if you want to have a conversation about it, I'd be willing to, hey, here's how you work this out, bro, or here's how it worked for me, right? But as long as you're like vilifying the fact that I just kind of live my life in a different way and everybody's aware, then that's okay. But it used to be so terrifying to me that I was going to have to explain that. And whatever will I do if someone, you know, if someone were to put this information out and all that? Who cares? Who cares? What happened? Literally nothing. Literally nothing, except a like bunch of people lie about the situation in an attempt to make themselves feel better, I guess. I have no idea. Or an attempt to vilify who I am. So I did want to use a couple examples from my own life and things like that. But the point is, I think the world is waking up to how completely absurd this behavior is. That like, it's the same few guys in every community, and they're all jerking each other off and celebrating like, oh, how cool that guy is and how cool that guy is. When you mature past a certain point, you don't give a damn how cool you look to everyone else, you know? Like, you do your thing, and if people like it, that's awesome. If they don't, that's fine too. Nobody's twisting your arm here. And for me, I have learned to focus on you guys, the viewers that want to be here, the people that enjoy my content, enjoy engaging in the conversations with me. I'm not saying I'm not saying you have to love every word I say and hang on every word I say like I'm actual Jesus Christ, but you're here and you want to watch. And I think a thing that made me really realize how cool that was this is a brand new channel. Brand new. We're making fun of brand new on this channel now. This is very new, and I think we passed 1,400 subscribers today. I mean, it doesn't matter who doesn't like me. There are people that do, right? And there's more people that do than don't. It's just the ones that don't are the loudest. Who cares? What happens? Nothing happens. So, I guess I just want to kind of put that out there for people that are going through it now. If you happen to watch this video, nothing happens. Nothing actually happens, you know. People say a bunch of mean things. If you pay attention to it, your feelings get hurt. And that's that. To the people that run in these circles, that like think that everything, that their whole group is like the coolest person ever, maybe every once in a while stand up and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't have done that. You know, maybe we went a little too far with that. But all I've seen in all these circles all over the internet, nobody's brave enough to do it. No, they don't want to stand up and say, no, we shouldn't have done that. No, and it's pretty sad, honestly. Did I have any other closing words? I'm not really sure. I did, but I forgot what it was. So let me get this video put together. It's a long one, and talk to you guys soon. Bye now.